Okay, hello, welcome to this video. Transportation is under attack again. I want to thank my colleague Matt for letting me know about this. Nice Bus is now joining in on the party of cutting service, and you're going to see some service cuts and changes in these schedules that we're going to be going over in this video. So I'm going to read to you the statement that they have prepared here. New schedules effective April 4th. Passenger travel has changed drastically in the past 12 months due to COVID-19 pandemic. As a result, we are continually monitoring ridership patterns and making adjustments to offer the most convenient service to as many customers as possible. We've made some adjustments to our spring schedules that will provide faster and more frequent service. We are continuing the stop consolidation plan to speed up your trip on the following routes: the N4, the N15, and the N25. By eliminating seldom used stops along these routes, we can speed up the trips by upwards of 10 minutes. Additionally, we have changed the routing on the N27 and the N15 between Hempstead and Roosevelt Field to better meet customer demand. By asking passengers to use the N16 and the N35 between the mall and the Hempstead Transit Center, we are able to reduce overlapping service and optimize the network so we can provide better service for riders system-wide. The N15 will now make rush hour trips from Hempstead to Mineola via County Seat Drive. Please see details on these changes below. So basically, the N15 is no longer going to be going to Roosevelt Field off-peak, which is absolutely crazy. A lot of people take the N15 to Roosevelt Field. They're going to have to take the N35 instead. And this is going to be a big problem. So N1 trips serving Jamaica now bypass Green Acres Mall and Valley Stream LIRR station due to low service demand. Even though those are ridership centers, I don't know why you do that, but for service to the mall and railroad, please take an N1 trip that starts or stops at Hempstead and Elmont Road. Please note that we have added some AM local Elmont trips to accommodate the mall and railroad. And 4, to speed up some trips, some stops have been eliminated in both Queens, East, and Westbound. For local service in Queens, please use the Q85. N4X, N6, and N22X remain suspended, and 6 trips have been added to the local to help with social distancing. N15 service now ends in Hempstead. So Hempstead is dangerous. You don't want to change buses there. So now more people are going to be forced to. Except for weekday rush hours. During the rush hour, the N15 will continue to Mineola via County Seat Drive. So it's going to be going to Mineola Intermodal Center, which I guess is good for me because then I don't have to walk to County Seat to catch it. But there will be no service to and from the mall. Please use the N16 or N35. So a lot of people go to Roosevelt Field, and Nice Bus is cutting service to Roosevelt Field. Unbelievable. So unless you're going to be providing more trips on the N35, I don't know. I'll have to look at the schedule for that and see. For stops along Clinton Road, please use the N35. In Rockville Centre, the N15 will also bypass the LIRR station and be rerouted to Merrick Road. You got to be kidding me. They're making this difficult to use. What? It's going to buy and be rerouted to Merrick Road? So you're not even going to have a stop at the train station? A lot of people use that stop. You got to be kidding me. This is all the plan. They are destroying public transportation. This is the plan. It's working. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to survive on Long Island anymore, guys. N16 frequency has been, but they're saying N16 frequency has been improved, now running every 30 minutes. I have to look at the schedules before I completely freak out, all right? So it's saying the N16 local trips will only serve the east end of Nassau Community College and will not serve the College Store, Bradley, or the Gates. The N16 will also be routed to serve the former N27 stops on Oak Street. In Rockville Centre, buses will begin and end at the LIRR station and will not serve Park or Lincoln south of Merrick Road. So basically, if you take the N15, you're going to have to start getting used to taking the N16. N16, NCC, and N16X have remained suspended to the second semester. N20H will not make trips into the LIU campus. To access the campus, please board to board on Northern Boulevard. Problem is the N16 doesn't run on weekends, so it should run on weekends now. N20H, N21 schedules have been coordinated to provide trips every 15 minutes between Great Neck and Roslyn during the AM-PM rush. So they've improved service there a little bit. N23, we've added weekend AM and PM trips to expand service. N27 will no longer run between Hempstead Transit Center and Roosevelt Field. For service to the mall or HTC, please use the N16 or N35. For trips to social service, please use the scheduled transfer to the N16. We have both increased the frequency of trips between Roosevelt Field and Glen Cove to every 30 minutes during the AM and PM. So they are improving service on the 27th. This is some good news for the North Shore. The The N31 and N32 buses will now start and end at Beach 20th and Plainview Avenue. The Crest Road and Seagirt stop will be eliminated. Please note that their printable timetables have now been streamlined to show key time points along the route. All buses will make all stops as usual unless otherwise noted. So timetables also include seating capacity projections based on historic ridership data. So these are some of the maps that they've provided here. Route changes. N16 will now serve the Rockville Centre, and it looks like the N16 is going to terminate at, I don't know, our discontinued segment. So they're not going to be running this segment anymore. Instead, they're going to be going down Oak and Commercial and then making a right to the college and then going to Roosevelt Field, or they're going to terminate at the college. I think they're going to go to Roosevelt Field first. So the N16 is basically being sped up. So basically what's going on is if you take the N15 between Rockville Centre and Roosevelt Field, you're now going to need to take the N16. But the problem is the N16 doesn't run on the weekends unless they've expanded this N16 service to the weekends, which is what they should do then. N15 now is going to terminate at Mineola. This is going to be a big problem for people in Long Beach. They are not going to be happy with going to Hempstead and having to change at Hempstead for a bus. So they're taking service away from Roosevelt Field, which is a huge mistake. But again, we're going to have to, and they have the brochures here for you to look at all this stuff here. This is some big news. This is some of the biggest changes we've seen in bus service since NICE took over. It just keeps getting worse for people. So let's go and look at the N16 schedule. That's the one because the problem is the N16 doesn't run on weekends. And it still doesn't run on weekends. So what are you supposed to do on weekends when the mall is busy? I don't like Baldwin. I don't want to have to go to Baldwin to get north again, to get from the South Shore. I may have to go all the way back to Jamaica. This is going to be a disaster, guys. So, I don't want... Hempstead is dangerous. I'm not changing buses there. So this is great during the week. The N16 has frequent service during the week, every half an hour. So basically what you got to do is you got to take the N16. That's fine. But the N16 doesn't run on weekends. So what are you supposed to do on the weekends to get to Roosevelt Field? And Saturdays, that's when the buses are busy. So this is going to be a huge mess. Huge mess for a lot of people. And it's just another way to drive down ridership. A lot of people are just going to start... either you can afford to get ripped off by a taxi or a Lyft to drive, or forget it. You've just been priced off Long Island. This is how we're getting squeezed out. So let's look at the N15 schedule here. So the problem is, on Saturdays and Sundays, it's only going to go to Hempstead. I mean, this is ridiculous. A lot of people go to Roosevelt Field. This is going to cause crowding on the N22 and N24, which are already crowded. So yeah, this is a huge mess, and people in Long Beach are really going to get screwed by this too. Really screwed. And there's also less frequent service too at certain times. Hempstead, nobody is going to transfer buses at Hempstead. People are going to be getting off the bus at Hempstead and so pissed. It's unbelievable. And where's the other part of the schedule? It seems like it's missing. Oh, here it is. This is the afternoon and the evening. So you're stuck in Hempstead basically on the weekends. There's going to be no direct service from the South Shore to Roosevelt Field on weekends, which is ridiculous. Let's see. Well, there is the 35. That's right, the 35. Which, again, now I got to deal with Baldwin. I'd rather wait in Rockville Centre. Well, let's see. It looks like they've added trips to the 35. A lot of trips don't go to Westbury anymore, though. They start at Roosevelt Field. And they only run between Roosevelt Field and Hempstead. What the hell? You got to be kidding me. So if you want to get back on the weekends from Baldwin here, which is over here. All right, they do have weekday service, a weekend service you're getting every half an hour on Sunday. So it looks like they've added trips to the 35 on Sundays and on weekends to compensate for the loss of the 15. but they want you taking the 35. But I don't want to. This is going to be a mess. This is going to be a mess. I like going back from Rockville Centre on freaking Saturday. I like Rockville Centre. Well, it's not safe in Baldwin. They're forcing us to go into unsafe areas. This is going to be really bad for me if I want to go to the South Shore on weekends. This is going to be really bad. I may have no choice, but what happens when the trains aren't running? Then what? I don't know. Maybe I'll just have to get ripped off by a taxi or a lift. That's what they want. I'm not going through Hempstead. I'm not changing buses in Hempstead. It's dangerous there. You're putting more people at risk of crime. Now I know they changed schedules on the 25 too. At least the 35 is more frequent service now on weekends. So again, I went away from that 35 too quickly. So let's see what they got here. So Sunday, let's see. Yeah, they have more frequent service. Not all the trips go to Westbury. Westbury only has hourly service. Well, no, Westbury gets some half-hourly service too. But generally, the 35 is going to have more service on it. A lot more service on it. So that's basically, you have to use taking the 35 if you normally take the 15 on weekends. If you normally take the 15 on weekends from the South Shore, you're going to have to take the 35. It's unbelievable, guys. But at least the 35, it seems like it has pretty good service on the weekends. That was my old route when I lived in Westbury. That's the route I had to take, and I dreaded going back from Baldwin, and I loved taking the 15 and not having to deal with... Baldwin is not safe. It's not a safe area. The 16 should run on the weekends if that's, they don't want to do that. They want to make it inconvenient for people. Let's look at the 25. I know they made some changes there, too. So let's see what they did here. So this is they combined this is into one route now, the 25 and the 30. So the 25 and the 50, is this two separate routes, or no? They just combined the schedules, I think. Yeah, they just combined the schedules. I see. They just put them in one schedule together. I don't know. It's kind of confusing. But all right, so again, Saturday, Sunday, the last bus out of Lynbrook is 7:06. So you got to make that last bus if you want to avoid riding through Hempstead. I meant changing in Hempstead. That's what I meant to say. Changing in Hempstead. Hempstead is dangerous, man. But they're just ensuring that Rockville Centre is going to be a place that only a certain demographic can get to, apparently. And it's the same schedule, Saturday or Sunday. So last bus, 7:06. During the week, schedule looks pretty much unchanged. And this is on top of the changes we're dealing with at the railroad, too. This is on top of that. But the weekends are the real problem, because weekends, that's when they do the work on the main line. And it's going to be very hard now to go to the South Shore. It's going to be very, very hard. I may have to go, in order to avoid Hempstead, I may actually have to go all the way to Babylon and then avoid changing in Hempstead. This is horrible. I mean, how are we supposed to survive here? And Nassau County is getting more money. They're on the cusp of passing a new... They don't care. They're going to get the money and they're going to still cut service. Look at what the MTA did. Suffolk County Transit is probably going to do the same damn thing. Then there's the N40, and 41. Of course, if you live in Mineola, just take that. Go back from Freeport. It's not safe in Freeport. I don't want to wait for a bus in a place that's not safe, where I got to deal with panhandlers harassing me, where I got to deal with crackheads walking around, swagger walking. Who knows what they're going to do next? Let's look at the 27. Good news for the 27 is, they've combined the schedules into one. Good news, the 27, you are going to get more frequent service, but it still doesn't run on the weekends. '27 is going to get more service, though. You're going to get some few extra runs here. Let's look at the 23. See what they've done here. All right, yeah, they've added let's see. I don't see any. Yeah, they've added a couple of extra runs here. I don't see that many added runs here, to be honest with you. They added a few in the morning. Maybe one run. So these improvements aren't a big deal at all. They just want to cut us. It's like feels like they want to cut us off from the South Shore. That's what happened when they got rid of the 45 and the 50 and the 51, because it seems like they just don't want people going to the South Shore via transit, because they don't want the poor people going there. It's okay to have the rich people going there, but not the poor or the lower or the middle class. We're not allowed to even go there for the day now. Weekends are going to suck. Go over all these here. Let's look at the 22 and the 24. So 22 and the 24. Let's see if they've made any changes here. Doesn't look like it. Service levels look the same. What about during the week when the routes split? Looks like they've maybe added a couple of trips out of Hicksville. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little less of a gap in service there. I can't go over every little thing. Oh, I wanted to look at the weekends. That's right. Yeah, 22 and 24. Of course, the news won't cover this. They don't care about bus riders. 731. This is out of Jamaica. What about the other way? They added any trips out of Hicksville? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. They constantly change the schedules too. Like I mean, let's look at the 24. Doesn't look like there's any changes here. And the 27 doesn't go to Hempstead anymore either, by the way. So that whole leg of Hempstead is going to be left. Well, that it was already left without service on the weekends. The Oak Street leg. 24. This is the weekend schedule. Looks similar. Haven't changed anything on the weekend. Again, if you need to get out of Hicksville, it's just when they do that damn track work and we have no shuttle buses. Doesn't look like the changes on. It looks like that does not look like they've changed the weekday schedule that much. Wait a minute, I think they have. They used to be a 7:09, so if you miss the 7:09, you got to wait an hour for the next 24. 8:05 if you're leaving Hicks. Pretty sure there was one in between those two. So now that's a cut. And let's see, 24 coming out of Jamaica. Looks pretty much the same. Okay, I can't review every single. I guess we can look at the N19. There's the N80. Let's see if they've. This is the one that left me stranded the other day. It's just like a handful of runs there. That's it. Just a handful of runs. They're just making it harder for us to get to the South Shore. That's what it is. And what's worse is during the week it's not so bad. All right, just take the 16, but on the weekend you're screwed. So if you wanted to get And then you're going to have no service at the train station. This is just all part of making our lives more difficult, guys. It's all part of the big plan. Forcing us out of New York. It's that, with the cuts, with the railroad, and there'll be cuts coming to New York City Transit, and a lot of it is to do with this governor. But we're fighting for our lives here. We are fighting for our lives. I don't want to have to live in New Jersey, but, the rate things are going with the declining quality of life and everything, I mean, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before we have to live there. It really is. So I guess I'll wrap up this video. We're being hung out to dry, guys, and it's just scary. I have tears in my eyes. I gotta quit this video because I know the plan is happening. It's going through, and it doesn't seem like there's anything you can do to stop it. I have another video I've got to put together about what I saw and what I dealt with last night, too. I got to do the Long Island News update, which I'll see if I can try to do after this or later tonight. Take care. Thank you for watching.